I'm Dr. Gene Antonucci. I started my career in dentistry in the Air Force, where I helped our military personnel get healthy and stay healthy. From there, I built a successful practice in Huntington, New York, and later as a teacher, lecturer, and author, I shared my knowledge and experience with students and fellow healthcare professionals. And now my journey's taken me here to explore the world of health, wellness, diet, fitness, and nutrition, as together we discover and find the good life. Welcome to Finding the Good Life. I'm Dr. Gene. A few shows back, we explored challenges faced by adults raising teenage children in today's world. In that show, the statement was made, "I wish I'd received the user's manual before having children." Well, there's another area in our lives where no user's manual exists, and that's the area of caring for our elderly adults. It's only until recently that serious attention's been given to the topic of elder care. Often, this issue is raised during a crisis, with people forced to react to a situation instead of being prepared for it. Face it, elder care for most of us never rises to the level of a lifetime goal. Whoever thought of those parents you adored when you were young, you hated and despised for taking your liberty as a teen, and you started to depend on as your own family started blossoming? Who knew that they would now need your help, and they would need it desperately? Whoever thought of needing financial preparation, long-term care insurance, understanding the basics of Medicare and medical insurance, planning for housing, home care needs, dealing with all of the accumulated stuff over the years, dealing with brothers and sisters who care more or less than you do, and the dreaded topic of dealing with death, funeral homes, cemeteries, burial services, estate lawyers, wills, and on and on. It's a lot to deal with for someone who never even thought of these issues once before. The guests on the show today will address these topics, from dealing with planning before a crisis to learning how to navigate through these challenges, especially during these crazy COVID times we find ourselves in, all in the hopes of shedding light and writing that needed user's manual for ourselves. I find that so many are unprepared for issues dealing with aging parents. Stephanie Erickson is an expert on family caregiving. She's worked with caregivers in many capacities, from dealing with mental health issues, palliative care, illness, dementia, and much more. She's the author of the book, Plan for Aging Well. Thank you so much for being on the show today, Stephanie.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
I find that so many people are unequipped to deal with these issues until these issues fall on our laps. What are some of the major issues that you deal with?
Well, you just said it, when it falls on your lap. So what I deal with is crisis. People are usually reaching out to me when something's gone wrong. And usually in terms of caregiving, it's, I don't know what to do. We're met with this medical crisis, emotional crisis, mental health crisis. We're in a panic and acute mode. How do we operationalize? How do we execute? What do we do? And often the confusion is around things of, I don't know what my loved one would want. I don't know where to go to find my resources. And I don't know if I have enough money to pay for those resources.
That's a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
So planning then is really, really important, but it's so hard for us to plan because it's a topic no one wants to talk about. So what tips can you provide?
Yeah, no one wants to talk about aging. And I can't blame people, because if you look at the way we treat and value older adults right now, it makes sense to me why no one wants to go there. But I think the first thing is really to just have a heart to heart with yourself. What I tell people is, think about yourself at the age of 85, at the age of 90, and if you're in a position where you need care and support, what would you want that to look like? And then really try and think about your values, your expectations, what kind of care and support you would want. Put that information into legal documents. You have to have it written somewhere so someone actually knows what to do. But it takes more than just putting it in a document. You want to make sure you have the conversations with your family so that all the nuances, all the details are really understood on both sides.
I've been practicing dentistry for 30 years and have lived through so many families that deal with dementia with their parents. So are there ways to approach this and deal with this?
Yeah, well, no one ages in isolation. No one experiences life in isolation, and dementia is no different. It shouldn't be occurring in isolation. Yes, maybe there's just one member of the family that has a diagnosis, but it's really a family illness, and we need to approach all health matters, emotional, mental, physical, really as a team. And that team includes not only the patient, I'll just use that term, the person who has the illness should be at the front steering that ship and making all of the calls, but then around them, all the loved ones, the family members, the friends, and then you have the whole world of the healthcare professionals, right? And it's not just the physician, it's a social worker like myself, or a nurse, or a physiotherapist, or it's, a dentist when you're going for treatment. What does that dentist, that treating person need to know? Or, if you're going to go see a nurse in a clinic, well, what information should be shared? And it really should be everyone communicating together as a team so everyone's on the same page.
And I'm sure that during this COVID time, which is crazy for everyone and everything, there are additional concerns and expectations and experiences. So, what have you experienced during this time?
Well, me personally, or probably my client you're
With
talking
your
about, but
clients,
it's
with your clients.
it's kind of the same. I would say it's isolation. And for caregivers, they're already a very isolated group. They already feel like they're carrying on so much responsibility. They already feel like they don't have enough support. And now they're literally isolated from other people because they're caring for someone who's likely in a high risk group. Plus, the whole world is kind of tightening up, anyways, and we're not allowed to do that much, and we're not allowed to see a lot of people. So caregivers and individuals are experiencing increased amounts of depression, anxiety, loneliness, and I really think that the outcome of all of this is going to be increased mental health concerns and challenges as the years pass, even once the pandemic has passed.
I agree with you. I'm sure our guests, our viewers want to find out more about you and the help you offer. So, where can we find out about you?
Well, you can go to my website, which is stephanieerickson.ca or .com. It's with a PH and a CK for my name, Stephanie Erickson. You can find my book on Amazon, which is Plan for Aging Well. And through my website, you can book to have a video consultation with me. I offer, coaching and counseling for caregivers in this manner on video.
Well, that's great. I know this is an important topic and something that people need to become more aware about and to do more about in their lives. Thank you so much for coming on the show today and for sharing this with us. Thank you.
My pleasure, anytime.